Delicious. It's good. Snap, crackle, pop. Good evening, one and all. How you find folks doing out there on this? Well, technically, at my time, it's theoretically Saturday past midnight. So actually, it's 20 minutes to 1 already, my time. I'm going to mix me up a late night cocktail because I definitely earned it today, that's for sure. I hope all you fine folks are having a great start to your weekend. I have taken my weekend back via attrition. After a while, you have to put your foot down and say to hell with that bullshit. Let me just share this quickly. I shall return. Okay, that's that. How you fine folks doing? I'm mixing me up some Fireball and a little bit of ginger ale on the rocks. Not too much, because I don't want to get all obliterated. Just enough to make me nice. Just a little snort. I hope you folks are having a fantastic, fantastic weekend. I know I am. Unfortunately, it has come at the price of somebody else, but like I said in previous live streams, I've had enough. So here it is, folks. Some Fireball with ginger ale on the rocks. Cheers, everybody. Delicious. Oh, yeah, there we go. Well, cheers, everyone. Again, I hope you're all having a great Friday, transitioning over to Saturday. I hope your weekend is doing well. I know mine is. I might actually get not a live stream. I should get a review going tomorrow, hopefully, if everything works out. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. If I find I seem to have plenty of time on my hands now, which is a good thing. Unfortunately, the girl I was helping, I've had to have her removed from my home, aka I threw her out because she was not being forthcoming with me along the lines of that and other things that I was not too happy with. That essentially, she was trying to hunker down here in my home and literally take over my apartment and telling me what I should and shouldn't do under my own roof. And literally trying to force, I don't want to say force, but trying to use me as a surrogate father to the kid. I feel sorry for the kid because he's a little guy, but she has not been forthcoming with me. I showed this on camera already in previous live streams. Here are the applications for job searches she was supposed to look for, and she never did. So I threw her ass out. All of her stuff, you can see that big white bag right there. At my 4 o'clock, that's all the clothes that she had here in my apartment. And that suitcase, and there's boxes behind me that you probably can't see. Finished. Done. Kaput. No mas. I said, fuck that, man. When I showed my face today on the property, the looks on my friends' faces and on my neighbors and people that I'm close to around here lit up. If any of you were watching, thank you. You have all, oh my God, look at my hair, man. I got that fucking Ronald McDonald springy hair. I need a haircut, folks. Oh my God, I look like a rooster. That's like that Kyle Broflovsky hair from South Park. Oh my God, look at that poof. I need a haircut bad, man. But anyway, yeah, when I went outside and people saw me for the first time in all these days, they're like, what the hell happened to you? We were going to do a wellness check on you. And the jokes. Well, like, did she fuck your brains out? Like, were you in a sex coma? And like, the jokes were good and plentiful, but it was nice to know that, I got a nice warm reception, especially when I went to the pool. One of my good friends was there with her granddaughter, and then her husband came outside, which was cool, and we were hanging at the pool. I had me a few suds today and just stretched out and took it all in, and just, I was like, doing one of these, thank God. So I took a nice long nap this afternoon. I had a little something to eat. And now I'm enjoying myself this gigantic glass of ginger ale on the rocks with a little bit of Fireball mixed in it. So thank you, everybody, for chiming in over here. Like I said, hopefully I'll get a review done tomorrow. For my eBay customers, by the way, link is in the description below, along with my coffee link if you want to make a donation to the channel. Much appreciated. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, do all that cool YouTube stuff. I did go back to my eBay store. There were a ton of old listings that I had that I have now relisted as auctions. And hopefully I can make some more room for some new stuff. All but one customer paid, and that customer I think will automatically pay soon. But here are the most recent orders I have. I think I showed these this afternoon. I didn't have a chance to get these out today because I just wanted to take some time to myself to get the fuck away for a little bit. If any of you have been watching this YouTube channel and you're my regulars here, unfortunately, this girl that I thought was supposed to do the right thing for herself and her son, apparently has been taking advantage of me staying here at my home. And I had enough. I couldn't take it no more. I've been blowing gas left and right. And I don't mean ass gas. I mean gas in my car, driving her back and forth to this fucking shelter and everything else. And I kind of had enough of the whole thing. And that was it. Today, I sent her messages telling her that she was trying to boss me around in my own home. If I feel like using the words motherfucker, I am going to do so. This is my roof. As long as I'm living here and I'm paying rent, that roof is mine. Those walls are mine. This carpet is mine. This camera is mine. This Fireball with ginger ale on the rocks is mine. In other words, I am the king of this castle. She hasn't put one dime or offered me one dime to pay for gas. And I've blown through my petty cash. I was checking my finances. That all my petty cash, except for maybe like $200, is gone because I've had to spend money on her. The kid has to eat. I have to eat. She has to eat. But she hasn't offered me anything. And not only that, when you're trying to tell me what to do in my home, you should be grateful that I even bothered to lend you a hand. And then yesterday she gave me a fucking attitude. So when I woke up this morning, I had a big conversation with my mother about this. All of you who are regular viewers of this channel, who have been commenting in the chat over the past couple live streams over the week since she was here, have, it didn't pass the smell test with her. But me, because I was blinded by my own bias, because I've gone through homelessness myself. I know what it's like when people all of a sudden pretend like you don't exist. Oh, they're there when they need you for food and clothing and money. But when they don't need you anymore, they throw you off the cliff like you never existed. It's called the bystander effect. The person's there standing in front of you, lying face down on the concrete, bleeding after a stab wound, but nobody will give a fuck to help the person. Oh no, not me. Oh no, it's very similar to NIMBY. Not in my backyard. Very similar circumstance. And because of that bias, I allowed my emotions to blind me to what she was probably trying to do. For the time being, at least, I don't think she has my complete home address. I told her that she cannot use my home address anyway because it could adversely affect my eBay business, and it could affect my income as well. So, but once she started bossing me around, telling me how I should and shouldn't talk in my own fucking space, how I should and should not talk in my home, how I should and should not drive my own vehicle. She doesn't have a car. She doesn't have a pot to piss in. I know she doesn't have a dime to herself. She sent me AI generated photos of herself. I've seen that before. My ex, Jenny, another fence jumping illegal immigrant, does the same shit. She uses AI to wipe away the acne scars and the blemishes on her face. You see my face? This is all natural, man. I might have Ozempic face because I lost close to 100 pounds at this point in my life, but this is a healthy look for me, but I don't have AI schmutz all over my face. And now this girl was doing the same thing that my illegal immigrant ex-girlfriend Jenny was doing, you know, putting AI schmutz on her face to cover up the pock marks and the pimples and everything else that she's got, including the one black tooth that she has in her mouth now that I've noticed. Whoops. So now she started sending me AI generated photos of herself, and I just delete, 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 delete. So, oh man, that mix is really good with ginger ale. Holy cow, it tastes like what do you call those? Geez, what are the name of those candies? I always forget. I'm not a big candy guy anyway, but I got refried beans with cheese over there. That's awesome stuff, man. Good for the protein, good for the body. Really good stuff. High in fiber, low carbs, no cholesterol whatsoever. Maybe a little high on the saturated fat, but nothing too bad. But it's good stuff. Very good stuff. High source of yeah, I'm not a big candy fan. What's going on there, Nick? I'm not a big fan of candy myself. Well, first off, it's because of the H1C, the blood sugar stuff I worry about. I take dihydroberberine, for the weight loss, which it has been effective after all these many, many months of being on that stuff. It's the equivalent, the natural equivalent to metformin, and the weight just took itself off. So yeah, I will only like I don't use table salt anymore when I cook. I actually use the pink Himalayan rock salt. That's a lot more pungent in its taste, and you can use a lot less of it, which is good for me as well because I don't like too much salt anyway. I'm more of a purist when it comes to flavors. Yeah, I really love using the Himalayan rock salt, the pink salt. It's really, really good stuff. I don't like the table salt too much because I even with myself too, like you can tell something's not good. Yeah, the Himalayan rock salt. It's not just people say it's trendy and all that bullshit, but if you cook quite often like I do, I prefer the Himalayan rock salt. I use a lot less of it than I would with table salt. And table salt, it's too tart, and it fucks me up as well too with the blood pressure and all that stuff. So, oh man, that is so good, man. Oh, that is so good. Yeah, you can either get it. There are two different ways you can get it. You can get it already ground down. Walmart actually sells them. You can get the salt and pepper with the Himalayan rock salt and the natural black pepper together in one package, or you can actually get the rock salt that you grind yourself. You turn the thing upside down and it's got the cap on it, and you flip it back over again, and then you can shake it. Yeah, the rock salt, unfortunately, it's a little more pricey than your average table salt. But I would rather use the Himalayan rock salt because you need a lot less of it. It does cost a couple dollars more, but I tell you what, it's well worth it, man. It's well worth it. At least I think so. And it tastes a lot better. It doesn't have like that strong, I guess you want to say like almost saltwater taste. I hate that salty saltwater taste. It's like eating seaweed. I can't stand that. Um, it does if you it does last longer. Yes, if you're talking about standard usage. Again, if you cook a lot, it does bring the flavors, especially with steaks. To me, it brings the flavor out so much more. I mean, typically I'll use a couple drops of olive oil on the skillet just to get it going. And then eventually I'll add butter to it, flip, 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 and then, I'm done pretty much at that point. So, but yeah, I think the pink rock salt is much better than your table salt any day, and I buy lots of it. Like I said, it's a little more expensive, but to me, can't go wrong with this stuff. Welcome, 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 everybody. Happy Friday, transitioning over to Saturday. I am here if you'd like to join me. I'm having a giant glass of sugar-free ginger ale with a snort of Fireball. I'm kind of enjoying my peace and quiet. To my regulars who are out there, you know why I'm celebrating right now. It's unfortunate. It's at somebody else's expense, but sometimes when you have a good heart and people take advantage of that, you have to put your foot down and say enough is enough. You have to say no sometimes. And this girl I was helping, she wasn't forthcoming with me. She was supposed to find a job. She never did. Here are the applications here she never filled out that I went to go get for her through my friends here at Walmart. I did not pick her up at the shelter today. I basically told her that's the end. You can't stay here no more. Sucks because of her son, but for my well-being and everything else, she's been getting 2 square meals. I have to cook special food just for her. You should be grateful you have something to eat to begin with. You know what I mean? I made the first night she was here, I made a big pot of linguine with meat sauce. I made a simple meat sauce with ragu with the mushrooms in it, and I added chopped meat to it, and I actually added more mushrooms. And like I said, the Himalayan rock salt, I put all my own seasonings in it to bring out the flavor and everything like that. And she refused to eat it because she has to have her special diet. And I talked about this in one of my most recent live streams. I think it was today before I went to the pool, where there was a story of hotel employees in New York when the former mayor Eric Adams was placing illegal immigrants in one of these hotels right by Central Park South. All right, that these people were taking sandwiches and everything else on school trays and throwing them in the trash because they got to have their rice and beans. They got to have their pollo and pescado or whatever you call it, fish. They have to have their chicharrones. They have to have their special fucking Hispanic diet. And I think that's fucking wrong to throw away food. And that's what they were doing. And Hispanic hotel employees who were either naturalized or born here found big, clear garbage bags in the dumpsters after they were being thrown out in these hotels. And they were ripping open up the bags. And sure enough, fucking uneaten food was tossed. That was the first indication that she wasn't telling me the fucking truth. And I thought I knew this girl. I really did. I thought I knew her. Shame on me. But anyway, I didn't bother to pick her up at the shelter. I went to the pool. I went to go talk to my neighbors that were messaging me. Yeah, thank you. What you just said right there, Nick. The fact of the matter is that I know what it's like to be homeless. I was homeless for a year because of all sorts of bullshit that happened to me. Let me tell you, man, you appreciate, even to this day, I appreciate every little morsel of food that goes down in my belly, every scrap, every crumb, everything. That's a misconception that a lot of people have of me, even here in the real world, outside of YouTube, that just because I have fancy sneakers, for example, I haven't reviewed these yet. I showed them on camera a whole bunch of times. Those are the new Nike Air Jordan 3 World's Greatest Dad shoes. Just because I got fancy shoes and fancy clothes doesn't mean that I don't appreciate the food on my table. Of course I appreciate the food on my table. But don't let that fucking fool you that just because I got nice things don't mean that I don't appreciate every single morsel and crumb and drop of water that comes out of that faucet. It's ridiculous, man. And she's picking and nitpicking. Be grateful. Yeah, I'm sure in that shelter, it's like eating school food. Remember the food back in school? It was shitty. Well, except for those round pizzas. If you remember the round pizzas with the pieces of pepperoni in it, I thought those things were great. We used to barter for that stuff in school. But at least it's something. And I took the time to make that food for her the first night she stood here, and she refused it. I had to go out and get her special food. Did I put any fireball in here? No, I did not. Excuse me. But yeah, man, talk about fucking ungrateful. Talk about ungrateful, man. She got to use my bathroom. She got to fix her hair. I gave her a hairbrush. I felt bad for her, and a brand new toothbrush, a new toothpaste, and her own soap and shampoo and every fucking thing else. And then that's when she started to settle down and hunker down and started telling me what I should and shouldn't do with myself in my own home. Even this. If I want to fucking have a small cocktail, because I don't drink booze as much as I used to. This is one of those rare nights. You'll actually see me do this because I think I earned it. I feel like I've earned it. I paid all my bills. I'm way ahead on my bills. I don't have any outstanding debts or anything like that, because when it's time to pay the bills, I do it all in one swift stroke, and then I have until the next billing cycle comes. I got nothing to worry about. I have a life that I have set up in such a way that I try to live a life as stress-free as humanly possible. When you grow up in New York, especially in the five boroughs of New York City, like I did, you're like this. You're squeezed into a sardine can. I'm tired of living that kind of life. That's why I moved here 10 years ago. You deserve to spoil yourself. Thank you. See, you even said that before I even finished my sentence, and I see it in the chat. But it gets to a point where, like, you're trying to tell me what to go do in my own home, and everybody has been telling me that this woman is fucking wrong. Yeah, she was probably, and my mom used the word squatter. So when I talked to my mom about this, there are cases in New York City with squatters would force their way into people's homes, and then the people that actually own those homes and those apartments would get kicked out of their own home. The ginger ale hides the flavor so much. I mean, you can feel the cinnamon, the aftertaste of the cinnamon. I put just enough. I probably put maybe like 2 capfuls of the Fireball in there, and you can get that nice, awesome, that nice little spritz of the cinnamon in the back of your throat. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. I think it mixes the best with ginger ale. I've mixed it with fruit punch. I've mixed it with Red Bull, but I think it mixes best with ginger ale. It's really, really good. But again, like I said, if you do it the right way and you put just enough where you don't get fucked up, that you can actually enjoy yourself, you put like 1 or 2 capfuls worth in your mix with a full glass of ice like this. Oh, it's so damn good. It's so good. But anyway, I got some refried beans off of camera here. With mozzarella cheese is actually really good. I enjoy Miller Lights. Yeah, I got Miller Lite in my fridge. I get the screw tops. So, and they're good because if you take a swig of beer and you don't feel like drinking anymore, you can just close the top and put it back in your ice box. And it usually stays good for a day or two. Waste not, want not. Mike's Hard Lemonade, I can't. See, like, I like White Claws. Like, I had White Claws last night just out of stress. Because I was having a little bit of an episode last night because of all of this and some other stuff. Yesterday was the anniversary of my father's death. And I didn't get a chance to, like, really, really honor him like the way I wanted to. So, I bought myself a couple White Claws. And those things are pretty good. If I drink like 3 or 4 of them, I'm fucked up. I don't know what it is about. You know what it is because I've cut back so much on the sugary stuff. You know, I really don't drink sugary drinks, but if I'm going to drink something like that, more than likely it's going to be a White Claw. I like the black cherry Mike's Hard Lemonades. Those things are to die for. I love the black cherry stuff, and I like the lime Mike's Hard Lemonades. Those are great. I accidentally bought one Mike's Harder lemonade, the lemon flavor. I thought I was going to throw up. I had to spill it out almost instantly when I tasted it. I didn't realize I grabbed one by accident. But those are very rare and far between that I buy them. If I do drink anything in that category of like the flavored stuff, it's going to be White Claw. I don't like Trulies. They're too sweet for me. I always like tart flavors. I've always been into tart flavors, not into that really sugary mess. Oh, that's so good. Oh, damn, is that good? Yeah, I don't like the harder ones. I accidentally drank one and it was just the most gross and disgusting thing. Like I wouldn't wash my car with that. I wouldn't clean my car's engine block with that stuff. It's gross. It just doesn't taste good at all. See, stuff like that is meant for people that just want to drink to get fucked up and they don't care how to do it. Me, I kind of like to take my time these days. You know, like with this, if I were to have maybe one or two more of these, I think I would still be okay because I'm really not. I'm putting maybe like that much in there, like two capfuls, three capfuls worth at most. So, but anyway, yeah, I went to go spend my day at the pool and it was absolutely amazing. Even one of the maintenance guys walked up. Hey, Walt, what's going on? He knew I have the goods on me every time I go out. So I mean, my reputation pretty much follows me everywhere I go around here. But anyway, yeah, today was a well-earned day for me just to kind of like get out and stretch out for a little bit. But, tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen. I might go back to the pool again. I got to get another YouTube review, and it's been a few days since I did my last review. And ever since this melodrama happened with this girl, I really haven't focused on the channel like I want to again, unfortunately. At least today, I took some time to do some relisting over at my eBay store and relisted a lot of my cards again as auctions. So this way, I can clear out some inventory. I got two big stacks of cards ready to go, and I got a couple hundred on the back burner getting ready to go as well. Well, alcohol by its chemical composition basically does break down the ice into water. So what's a YouTube channel about? Well, if there wasn't any drama or anything like that, the channel is more or less a collector's channel. So I love sports jerseys, hats. This is my fan made Red Letter Media stuff. I actually got stitched patches that I ordered finally. I got official patches, which is cool, but these I made myself. They're photo patches. I'm a fan of the channel. But anyway, I collect Transformers. I collect sneakers, hats, jerseys. I do a lot of reviews of that stuff. I got Transformers down there that I haven't reviewed yet. I got sneakers I haven't reviewed yet. One of the latest things that came was this mini Voltron I haven't reviewed yet. The latest pair of sneakers I got, I just showed on camera. Those are the world's greatest dad shoes. So I still got to review these. I haven't got around to that. I think I can. What can I reach under here? Is this Shockwave? I'm afraid to touch anything under my table because if I touch one thing, everything's going to collapse. There's Shockwave right there. He showed up. Let me see what I can grab from underneath here quick. Gears I've had on the back burner for a while. There's Power Glide. They just released him recently, so I was able to get my hands on him. Do I collect Star Wars? I used to. I hate Star Wars. I can't stand Star Wars. Ever since they went woke, it's not for me. I'm not into the rainbow shit. I mean, each to their own. I don't care what people do with themselves, but I don't allow myself to be subjugated by left-wing nitwits who, want to try to convince me that, they're women when actually they're men with their peepees duct taped to the sides of their legs while they have bigger beards than I do. And they still want me to call them girls. And once Star Wars was affected by Kathleen Kennedy and their ilk, well, I've hated Star Wars for over a decade now, mostly for personal reasons. And besides, without all of that being said, it's lost its magic. All of the wonder and imagination has been taken out of it because they have to constantly, they're constantly fucking with the franchise. But that's another story for another time. Do I enjoy Hot Wheels? I actually have a couple Corgi fishbowl buses that I do have up on my shelf right there, as a matter of fact. A couple of my Star Trek starships that are, I can actually turn the camera, you'll probably see right up there. Some of them are Hot Wheels, as a matter of fact. The USS Reliant is a Hot Wheels starship. My two Klingon bird of preys up there are Hot Wheels. Somewhere, I don't know if I have it in my closet, but I do have a USS Enterprise. Excuse me. Oh, man. Pardon me. What's going on, Big Mama? Yeah, I do have a Hot Wheels USS Enterprise Constitution refit buried somewhere in my boxes. I just picked up the Corgi Enterprise, which I reviewed not that long ago. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to do a live stream tonight. I don't know. You know what happened? I went to the pool. I know you were around for the earlier live stream. Yeah, right after that live stream I did today, I went straight to the pool, had a good time, made myself a nice little cocktail because why not? I could. I'm like, I got some extra energy to share, so I might as well just get on camera here and do my thing, like always. I got me some of them refried beans with mozzarella cheese. And for tonight's little nightcap, got me some sugar-free ginger ale on the rocks with a little snort of Fireball in there. Seem much more relaxed today. Yeah, because I threw that girl out. I wasn't kidding. I meant it. I meant what I said. She's gone. Finished, kaput. Auf Wiedersehen. I can't have somebody like that around me. I'm not going to act like some other or a surrogate father to somebody else's kid. Everybody and their mom literally has been telling me to remove myself from this situation, even though my intentions were sincere. I wasn't trying to hold this woman hostage or demand anything from her in that way. But it dawned on me when she started trying to fucking boss me around in my own home, telling me what I shouldn't do with myself and for myself, and then trying to tell me how I shouldn't drive my car, what I shouldn't eat. The first day she was here, and I remember talking about this in a live stream, and I just brought it up here with this live stream, was the first day she was here, and I cooked that fucking linguine with the meat sauce and pardon me, cheese and mushrooms that I made. She completely snubbed it because she had to have her special meal, her special Hispanic meal. And I've been talking to all my friends about this, and people are starting to get worried. I have that kind of reputation that if you don't see me walking back and forth with my sports card orders, and if I don't take the time to say hi to you, or, my neighbors walk by and scream, "Hey, Walt," from downstairs, something's wrong. Something must be wrong. That's the kind of reputation I have around here, and I was getting text messages from everybody around here like, "What's going on? We haven't seen you. We only see you going back and forth in your car. Is everything okay?" And like all this crazy shit. But it didn't dawn on me until I actually stood up and said, "You know what? You can't stay here no more." is when I remembered when she said that, and then something clicked after I talked to my mom this morning about this on the phone because like I said earlier, yesterday was my dad's first anniversary of him passing, and I didn't have a chance to mourn him properly yesterday. That's why today I'm like, fuck that. I'm putting my foot down and I'm done. When she said that she doesn't eat that kind of food because it's not part of her culture, something in the back of my mind clicked when Mayor Adams in New York were putting these people in fucking hotels on the lower west side of Central Park, that they were throwing away fucking trays of food. They were throwing away sandwiches. They were throwing away fucking cartons of milk, fruit cups, and all that kind of shit. Yeah, it might be school food. Yeah, it may not be appealing to people, but you're getting it for fucking free. Free. At the expense of the American taxpayer. And employees were ratting these people out. In big, clear garbage bags, they were finding fucking trays of uneaten food because of these selfish pricks. They have to have their arroz con pollo. Here's your arroz con pollo for you. Eat like the rest of us do. If my ancestors can give up the fucking German language and their culture when they step foot on the soil here, you can give up speaking Spanish and eating fucking fish and rice all day. Fuck you. If my ancestors can give up celebrating Oktoberfest and all that kind of shit, you can give up speaking Spanish. It's bullshit. And that should have clicked in my brain, but it's because of my bias for being homeless and I felt sorry for her. I really did. And I feel sorry for her now. She's probably in that shelter still right now. I can't have her here. You don't tell me what to do. When somebody gives you, there's an old saying, I'm going to even simplify it even more than that. Do not bite the hand that feeds you. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. It's that simple. And that's exactly what she did. If I want to use the words motherfucker in my home, that's my right to do so. Because as long as my name is on that lease and my name is on the electric bill and I'm paying for all of this and I'm driving you back and forth spending almost fucking, what was it, $62 last night on fucking gas for my car? That's expensive for my car. Last time it was what, 50, 51, 52, 50? I forgot how much it was over at Sam's Club to fill up. And I'm driving you back and forth to the fucking shelter and this is the thanks I get, right? Ungrateful prick. Oh, man, is that good. So today I told her off, can't come here no more. That garbage bag is one of several bags that she's got here. She's going to have to come pick it up. I'm not driving up there anymore. Fuck that. And I shouldn't have to. I really shouldn't have to. The hell with that bullshit. But anyway, it's absurd and ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. I'm starting to feel like an angry version of Mr. Belvedere. Because every time I tell these stories, I'm not the type to watch my live streams and my videos unless I fuck up somewhere and I have to make a correction in the next video or live. I really am starting to feel like an angry Mr. Belvedere with my life lessons here on the channel. It's like ridiculous. You don't have a pot to piss in. You have a little boy that you need to fucking take care of, and somebody takes you in. If it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have her fucking food benefit card, by the way. Mecklenburg County, at least the woman at the counter over at the new location where the health department is, if I didn't use my 9/11 credentials in my pocket, we would have had to go back the next day. But they took us right then and there because of me. And she was able, that smells good. I love that cinnamon smell. But if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have her food stamp card. Which is going to be another thing that's going to suck for her because there's food in that refrigerator that is by right her son's, that belongs to the kid. Wow, is that good? That's really good. I guarantee this sneaks up on me as this live stream continues on. But again, everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with me here tonight. I'm just hoping that this latest bullshit, is over. She's going to have to come here eventually and get her stuff, but I'm not going to let her inside my apartment anymore. It's clear she was starting to hunker down here. That's not the point. She told me out of her own mouth that, and I know this for a fact because Mehmet Oz, who's part of the Trump administration now, with people on Medicaid and food stamps and things like that, you have to either be looking for a job or have to have a job. And here's the proof that she did not do what she said she was going to do. These are the same applications I showed the other day. And I even went as far as to get her one in Spanish for Walmart. She didn't fill it out. I pressured her the night before all this shit happened. And she never filled out that application, which tells me she was trying to live here. That's not how that works, and I'm not going to be pushed out of my home. No way. Nope. Not happening. Man, is that good. God, it's like drinking liquid candy. But again, anyway, like I said, folks, thank you for keeping me company here tonight. I really appreciate it. I really wasn't planning on live streaming, but I got so much energy in me today. I'm like, I do have a conscience, though. I'm not a cold-hearted son of a bitch. I really tried my best to lend this woman a hand. And then you find out what she's really about. And I was pressing her and pressing her and pressing her. And I even put the damn thing right on the dining room table when she was eating. And she still never even bothered to look at it. And now that I know she's another fucking fence jumper, which she never told me the truth until I fucking pressed her to the point where she finally convinced me of what she was. I think it was fairly simple to put two and two together. And, I can't have that. It's not going to fucking happen. Not on my watch. I feel sorry for the little boy, but I'm not going to have someone get me into fucking trouble. And for all I know, with the way things happen, I firmly believe that. I don't know if she's trying to hide pardon me. I don't know if she's trying to hide the kid from the father. Maybe this kid's a kidnap victim. I don't know. I mean, I know that the father did rough her up. That's a fact. He put his hands on her. That is a fact. That's a record. But everything that's led up to that point is still a huge mystery to me. What would drive a man to do that? And watching her, I'm not saying that she's a bad mom, because when she was here with me, changing the kids' diapers and all that kind of stuff, I see no indication that she would hurt the kid. She was very loving with the kid. That much I can see, but I think it's because of her irresponsible behavior as an adult that she just has no concept of things like this. If that's one thing my parents beat into my head, nothing in this world is free. My dad used to drag me to work with him if I ever wanted extra money. Nothing in this world is for free. Everything has a cost, whether it's financial, emotional, or psychological, or even physical. Everything has a cost. Everything has a price. You can't come in here. I have a YouTube channel that I'm running, which I'm talking to you fine folks with. This camera stand costs money. This longer cable that I can recharge my phone at the same time while I'm live streaming, that costs money. This work desk I bought cost me money. All of these baseball cards that I buy and sell, that costs me money. The electric to operate my phone, that costs money. Nothing is for free, man. And not once did she offer to pay for a tank of gas in my car. I understand that the woman right now at this point, she doesn't have a pot to piss in, but don't come into my fucking space and start making commands and demands that I have to cook you special food because you're going to refuse to eat. Be grateful you're getting anything at all. It's not like I'm trying to poison you. It's the most basic fucking dish. Spaghetti, for God's sakes. The most basic shit you're going to snub because it's not part of my culture. That right there should have been the first sign that she wasn't fucking forthcoming with me. And I feel like a gullible fucking idiot. I really do. And that's why today I've been cavalier about the whole situation. And that's why you don't hear me being, emotionally compromised like with other previous situations I found myself in, because I know I did the right thing by trying to... Oh, there we go. What we got here? What's this? That's a good sound. Oh shit, somebody bought me out? Really? I just changed the fucking price on that thing and already somebody bought them. Okay. That's good. 1, 2, 3. Somebody bought all my Nick Hertz cards. Okay. Lucky I happen to have them right there. I bet you that's all 4 of them. And I know I got his all-star refractor that I listed. Give me 1 second, folks. Let me just check this quickly. I think they bought all 3. Yep, somebody bought all 3 of these Nick Kurtz cards. So thank you to the customer that did that. So that's awesome. That's awesome right there. Cool. Very cool. That's really, really awesome. And that's good because with all the money I fucking spent, now I have to try to make that money back and some. This live stream, I went back to a lot of my older listings, relisted a lot of stuff as auctions. There are some buy it nows still that are up there, but a lot of my most recent listings are auctions again. And the last set of auctions I had were a success. This is what's left from the previous batch of auctions that I had with customers that paid up. So this was one of the few buy it nows that I listed. So that's cool. You know why? Because I lowered the price on these guys because the price on these dropped. So I adjusted the comps on these. So, and all 3 of them sold in one swift stroke. As a matter of fact, give me one. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, folks. All right. Okay. I actually upgraded this customer to ground advantage. I mean, I'm taking a $1 and change loss on this sale, but if it's going to New Jersey, I want to make sure that the customer gets this. I've only had 1 return, which is a lot better than what's happened in 2025. To only get 1 return this year, that's a good thing. I like to keep that track record going. Because the lack of postage in the fucking post office in some jurisdictions still try to fucking hustle for that extra nickel. It's fucking dumb. It really is. But because this is going to New Jersey, this particular order, I'm upgrading them. So I'll get this processed right now, as a matter of fact, if so facto. So if you're that customer watching this live stream, thank you. I'm still going to do the regular packing job. If you're customers of mine, you know how I do this already. So there's the cardboard sleeve. Cardboard goes into plastic like so, which these are, I think, BGS envelopes or SGC envelopes. So give them a little press to get some of that air out of there, and if not, that's what this is for. Grab a push pin, poke a little hole in the plastic so the air gets out of the envelope. All right, give it a little squeeze. And then, of course, I put my signature tamper-proof label on the envelope, because once they break that seal, I don't want to hear about damaged or scratched cards. You bought it, you paid for it. I vet all my cards. So there you have it. That's to prevent card swapping. But because this is ground advantage, I go the next step, stick it in the bubbler because it may bounce around inside the box. I want to make sure the cards are triple layered protected, because I'm anal like that, I guess. Seal it in the bubbler like so. Bada bing, bada boom. No one is saying over here. What's the matter with you? And here's the box that I use, a true 7x5x1, which on average usually weighs anywhere between, I think, 5 to 8 ounces, which is usually approximately at the cost of $6 maximum. This order was like 5 and change, and the sale was like 3 and change, and the shipping came out to like 2 something. So this customer is getting a shipping upgrade free of charge, basically. So, and you guys are watching what I'm doing in real time, which is good, because you guys get to see my shipping methods and how I pack cards and all that kind of stuff. I was doing a mini series about that, but I never really revisited how I pack my cards and, in certain situations, what I do and what I don't do. But this is what I do with multiple card orders. Now, I wouldn't go to this extreme for just 3 baseball cards, but it's because of the location. I've had bad experiences with New Jersey in the past, because those are one of those states, like Colorado is another state, that nickels and dimes for extra postage. Even though I charge $1.07 for shipping, they still nickel and dime for that extra 5 cents, which is fucking goofy. Because everything is based, and see, most people don't seem to get it when it comes to postage. Everything is based on size, length, width, and weight. See, if this was a single order, I would have used an envelope, but because there's 3 cards in here, and it's because of the location, it's the only reason why I'm upgrading this one. I've learned that anything that goes to a place like a blue state like Colorado or New Jersey or New York, you have to be extra careful, because, either theft takes place or they try to nickel and dime you for extra postage. And then anybody that knows my shipping methods, there's the fragile sticker, and there's the scan before delivery, and another fragile sticker on the back. So we'll add that to the pile right there. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. If you're watching this, if you're the customer that just bought those Nick Kurtz cards, much appreciated. Thank you. Your order's already processed. It'll be out the door if it doesn't rain tomorrow or later. Well, technically it is tomorrow. It's 20 minutes to 2 already. Holy crap. Oh man, does that taste good. So you were asking what the channel's all about, Nick? There you go. That's an example of it right there. The sports card hobby as well is a big subject on this channel. I sell sports cards right out of my home, specifically baseball cards. When I got the extra cash to burn, I'll break open some boxes. I'm not a box breaker. I don't have people buying into breaks and all that kind of stuff. But I'll rip open the boxes and then I see what I get. Sit on it for a little bit. I'll put out some basic cards from those boxes. And then depending on supply and demand, I'll put them up for sale. And then, you know, I'm not making a ton of money on it, but I am making some good money. So it all depends. But, you know, I've been doing good consistently. Actually, this is my 2-year anniversary this month, actually. So I'm pretty happy for that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, still going strong. I still have a lot of cards yet that I have to pack and prepare for sale. I got a ton of X-Fractors from last year's flagship and this year's flagship. So get around to it when the time comes. And I'm already in this live stream for an hour, folks. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to wrap it up right here. I try not to go past more than an hour, hour and a half tops. Sometimes my live streams go for 2 or 3 hours, you know. But when I feel like I've kind of overstayed my welcome, it's time to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you like always for your continued support. Thank you to all the new viewers, supporters, subscribers, eBay customers, all of you, you know, the regulars that are always here. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. A lot of you were giving me advice, you know, forgive me for not really taking your advice to heart. I mean, I do keep it up there, but this time a lot of you were correct. I should have been a little bit more careful in hindsight. So I own that, you know, but I appreciate it. A lot of you were correct. And, well, now I did something about it. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But hopefully I can get in a review for you fine folks out there. I got plenty of stuff to talk about. I'm still waiting for Krennics to show up. That's in transit right now. And, you know, I ordered for Starscream. I already have Studio Series Thundercracker up there. I did order for Skywarp, and I was able to get in my pre-order. I hate using that term, pre-order. My reservation for More Than Meets the Eye Studio Series Starscream. So he'll be coming whenever that's released. I also ordered for Missing Link Ironhide. We'll see what happens when that gets released, but that's going to be coming from Japan. And that's like another $100 and something for that fucking toy. It's a lot of money, man. But again, you got to blame, as much as I love me some Orange, man, his tariffs suck. Excuse me. So, all right, I'm going to sign off here, folks. I'm going to watch a little bit of BoobTube, finish off this cocktail, and I'm calling it a night. Thank you all. God bless you all. Like always, take care. Enjoy your weekends. If I do another live stream, maybe I'll announce it again on the community page. Like I've been trying to do that more. You know, it's just tonight I was like, whatever. You know, so we'll see what happens tomorrow if I got some time. If there's no drama or no bullshit, maybe I'll get a review in finally. You know what I mean? So take care, folks. God bless you all. Thank you to my eBay customers, friends, family, neighbors, all of you across the board. See you around, folks. Good night, everybody.